I graduated here 20 years ago. And I think it's great to be back. This is my alma mater. Vanier is actually where I kind of came alive. I was just an average high school student, and I was really nothing special. I didn't think much of myself, intelligence-wise, until I came to Vanier and realized, wait a minute, if I study, I can actually succeed and get A's. This is like a great concept. And really, this is where I had that revelation. So it's really great to be back and to share knowledge with you guys. So I'll start off by asking what's driving technology? And a lot of people think that consumers are driving technology, but that's actually, I wouldn't say that that's a really accurate answer. A lot of what I'm going to be talking about is mobility. A lot of my examples will be mobile related, and if you would ask somebody a few years ago, if you would have asked consumers, what would you like to see in your mobile device? Or well, back then we called it cell phone more than mobile device. What would you like to see improved in your cell phones? People would say, well, I have a lot of dropped calls, the connections aren't that clear. They'd say, I want a clearer connection. But they wouldn't necessarily say that they want something really fancy, like a GPS, which today on smartphones we expect that. So I wouldn't say, from my perspective, I think that it's really rapid innovation from the side of technology that technological companies that are driving technology. So the Apples of the world, the Microsofts, the HPs and so on, these are the guys, the thinkers that are behind all these innovations and saying, you know what, I think the public really wants to hear about, wants to use this kind of technology. So I say to you guys, a lot of you guys are students, when you're thinking about your field of study, really think about how you can take what you've learned and improve on it. And we'll go through some, you'll get the gist of it. All right, now we've evolved to the point where we're mobile again. Now what do I mean by that? During the 90s, up until just a few years ago, every time you wanted to have a communication, be it for work, for school, during your playtime, your leisure time, you always went back to your desk. You always went back to your computer. So if you were in a chat room, which was big a few years ago, you'd go back to your computer to use the chat room. If you wanted to send an email, you went back to your computer to send the email. Now, we're not chained to the desk anymore. We're not stuck there anymore. What we've done is we've taken the essential components of computers, of PCs and Macs and so on, and we basically put it into our mobile devices. And that's really key because a lot of innovation that's going to be coming, especially on the consumer front, is really going to be tied to mobile devices. So for example, all right, it's cut off at the bottom, it says NFC, near field communication. This is a very hot area right now in computer science, IT, engineering, all this kind of merging, coming together. Near-field communication is basically communication between two devices that are close to each other. That's the most basic version definition I can give you. A few years ago, there's a few car companies started using near-field communication as a way to make it easier for people to get into their cars. So what they would do is, instead of actually offering the car owner a key, they'd give them a small device, it was basically a transmitter, so you can put it in your pocket. Whenever you came close to your car, it would automatically unlock the door to your car. So, obviously, you think about it like, oh, what's the big deal? Take your keys out and open your car door. But luxury cars especially love to offer gimmicks to people to justify their high prices. So car owners would say, hey, that's a cute little gimmick. They'd go for it. Now, near-field communication like this is actually being integrated into mobile devices. So when it comes to e-commerce, what's happening is it's becoming easier to actually make purchases thanks to your phone. Now, I actually prepared this a few weeks ago, in anticipation of today's talk, but some of you might have heard just a couple of days ago, Google released what's called Google Wallet. Now, Google Wallet is exactly this. It's a mobile payment through the technology of near-field communication. It's basically an app that you put onto your Android phone, and when you go to a store, so let's say you want to buy a new shirt, you get to the cash register, you take your phone, and you just tap the receiver, and the information from your phone, basically your MasterCard information, gets transferred over to the device in an instant, and that's it, and your purchase is made. You don't have to swipe your card. You don't have to worry about credit cards anymore. It's all in your phone. So right now, we take wallets, we take keys, we take smartphones with us. You know, I'm sure most or all of us can agree that this is what we take with us. It's kind of the bare minimum. These are what fills our pockets currently. But in the not so distant future, all of that could be just your phone. You could activate your car, start your car with your phone. You can make your purchases with your phone. Your personal identification is all going to be on your smartphone or mobile device. Wireless energy. So I'm going to move into a little bit of talking about wireless now. This is something that, if you think about, like just a few years ago, it was, you know, the concept was like just mind-boggling, but this is actually a reality. This is happening today. So some of you may have heard of the charging pads. What you do is you plug in your charging pad, you leave it at home, and when you come home, you just you take your mobile phone, just put it on the pad. You don't have to plug it in. Just put it on the pad, and it'll automatically charge. This device, you can go to the source right now and buy this device. This is not like, this is a current trend in future technology. It's happening right now. The next step, or the next part of this, is going to be where you won't even have to have the pad directly, or rather, it'll be more of a contactless charging, meaning that just walking into your house is going to have your phone will automatically get charged. You won't even have to put it on the pad itself. So that actually exists right now, but it hasn't been commercialized on a large scale yet. All right, you can't see the bottom here. Again, it's just cut off, but it says energy generating dance floor. This exists. Right now in London, there's a nightclub that created a specialized dance floor such that the more people come and dance, the more energy gets produced from pushing down on the dance floor, and it powers part of the nightclub. Now, the nightclub actually says that potentially it could up to 60% of the nightclub's electrical needs could be covered just by people coming and dancing. So this is very innovative thinking. Same thing in Japan. There are a number of train stations where they've custom made the floors in a way such that whenever people walk onto the platform, it pushes down on the floor, and it's unbeknownst to the people who are actually walking, and it creates a little bit of energy, and so, you know, little bits of energy adding up creates enough power to generate electricity for part of the station. Now, okay, we're addicted to our mobile devices. I mean, it's no secret, and we're gonna get even more addicted to it, because we're taking it, you know, as everything in your world you know, becomes, you know, integrated into this mobile device, you're going to take it with you wherever you go. It becomes part of your personality, part of your identity. Of course, today we're very big on customizing our phones. And you can see here that, you know, this guy just can't let go. You know, he's jumping in the pool, but he still needs to talk. So I'm going to talk a little bit about location-based technology. One being Bayo. Now, some of you might be using Foursquare. I personally love Foursquare. It's my favorite social media platform. I love going around checking in places. This is beyond Foursquare. With Bayo, what you do is you basically turn it on, and wherever you go, you don't have to check in, you can track people. So you can think of many different applications for this. You know, if you have kids, you know, just keep it on, put it in their school bag, keep it on. At any time you could log in and see exactly where they are, how long they've been there, and so on. Again, this technology exists today and is being used today. Augmented reality. Another location-based beauty. Basically, an incredible advancement in technology. Just a month ago, Carnegie Mellon University released a study pointing out that software exists today that can go through the internet, crawl through the internet, find a photo of somebody, associate a name with that photo. So literally, like if there's a name underneath the photo, or the photo itself is called like johnsmith.jpg, it'll associate the name with the person, then go through the internet, find their Facebook page, their Twitter page, their LinkedIn page, their blog, and so on, bring all that information together and tie it to one person, all based on a photo. So this is photo recognition software. Now with augmented reality, let me take a step back. Augmented reality, what it means in a nutshell is taking reality and technology and merging them together. So in this case, with augmented reality, what you can do is, if you see somebody running by you, you could literally take your phone, have the phone take a picture, in this case of this girl running by, and through facial recognition technology, it'll actually go through the internet, find other photos of this girl. So imagine if her Facebook profile has a page that's open to the public, it'll match the faces, and then it'll be able to follow through and find all the information about her. So, and like this technology exists today. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. Wow. This is today. You could get somebody's phone, or you can get her phone number just because she's running by and you scanned her.
You've been stalking?
Definitely stalking issues aside. Also, another example.
Excuse me,
yeah?
how do you block some of this stuff? This is freaky. Yeah. I mean, this is scary as hell.
Yeah, I'm planning a talk on privacy. That's also with augmented reality, here's like a healthier version of using this, what I call beautiful technology. This is a photo I took in Quebec City a few months ago. Now, what you could do, there are apps today that allow you to actually take your phone, hold it up to this little street area, and it'll show you, it'll identify everything on the street. So if you're looking for a hotel, it'll literally point out hotel right over there. It'll give you historical information about the places. You can do this today. Just get the right app, go to downtown Montreal, go to Old Montreal, just hold up your phone, and it's going to show you everything about what you're seeing. You don't even have to take a picture. You just have to keep the camera on. It's really, it's remarkable, but you know, consumers never would have thought of this. You know, it's really you guys being the future as computer science students. It's you guys and your innovation that thought of these things, and obviously it betters society. You know, there's a generic term, but you know, it enhances people's lives and really is augmented. It augments your life. So mobile tags, like Mohammed was mentioned earlier. So QR codes are quick response codes. These were actually created by Toyota to track car parts. So what they used to do was they'd make a little code, they'd put it on a car part, and they had a special scanner such that when it was scanned, it would give all the details of that car part. Now, what they decided to do was open the technology to the public without asking for any fees or payment or anything. So now you're seeing these everywhere, especially in the advertising world. So all you have to do is create the code, put it somewhere, and it'll redirect you somewhere. So typically it'll redirect you to, let's say, a website, but if you're really innovative, by clicking on it, you'll like somebody's page on Facebook, or by clicking on it, it'll take you to like a product demonstration video. There's so many things that can be done. There's so many applications for QR codes and mobile tagging. In fact, I could give a whole talk just on this, but this is really hot right now, and I think you're going to see a lot more of it in the near future. Jimmy Fallon in the QR code. It sounds like a Harry Potter movie. Basically, a few months ago, Jimmy Fallon had a rap group on his show. They're called Odd Future. And what he did was, he took a record cover, so for any of you who remember what a record is, and he put a QR code on there, and he told people, just scan your TV. And over 20,000 people did so. So they scanned the TV, and when they did, on their phones, it would take you right to the Buy Now page of the rap group's website. So you could easily just go get the information you wanted and buy their music. Now, Arthur C. Clarke, if you're in the sciences, computer sciences, you should definitely know who this guy is. He's a physicist, a visionary, incredible sci-fi author. And in 1961, that's 50 years ago, he said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I would argue that while magic wands are fiction, your cell phone is real. It's the real deal. The modern mobile phone is really like a magic wand. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples in the area of interactivity. So first, Nike ID. So this was in Times Square. What Nike did, Nike actually offers the ability to customize your own shoes. You can decide on what colors you want your shoes to be. And what they did was, they posted this in Times Square, and when you walk by, you could actually just call the number, the 1888 number, and it would text you an image, and it was almost like a game. It was like a color by numbers, and you can decide what colors you wanted your shoe to be in, like what parts, like the laces, like the front, and so on. And so you had a minute. After the minute, your shoe, the shoe that you designed, would actually appear for everybody to see. Afterwards, they would actually send you that pair of shoes. And that day, as part of their promotion, they gave away 3,000 pairs of shoes, all customized. Now, this is actually high up. Like, you can't really see based on this photo, but there's people walking by underneath. So this is like high up in Times Square, and it's just a matter of being able to control what's up there with your mobile phone. Definitely more so than what a magic wand could do, since a magic wand is fiction anyways. A similar idea took place in Stockholm, Sweden with McDonald's. They had an interactive billboard. It's basically like a Pong game, where if you look up on the board, you see it went back and forth. Now what happened was, as you got close, the system sensed that your phone, your phone was was a smartphone and could actually interact with the board. And what they would do is they'd let you actually play Pong for about 30 seconds. And if you could keep it up for 30 seconds without losing, you would get texted a coupon to go into McDonald's and get fries and a burger. Now this is actually, it's brilliant marketing. I mean, especially since if you consider every day there's probably thousands of people who walk by this billboard, don't even pay attention to it. This got people to stop and stand there and actually interact with their environment. This is just the beginning. Now think about it as computer scientists and engineers, IT guys, like, what would you guys do? You know, if you see this technology is up and coming, what would you want to see done? You know, it's just a matter of like wherever your mind can take you and go and make it happen. Related to what I'm saying is brain power. As students, you should be using your brain power all the time. Don't let it go to waste. Keep thinking about what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. Think outside the box, and if you think that no one else has done it, try it. If you think someone else has done it, make it better. But using brain power, especially as students, is really key. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is the emotive headset. Now, aside from looking really cool and making you look like a board, this piece of technology allows you to control your environment wirelessly. What you can do with this, for example, is, let's say you're in a wheelchair. It's based on neurotechnology. It'll read your brain waves. So if you're in a wheelchair and you want the wheelchair to move forward, you just have to think about it, concentrate about moving forward, and your wheelchair will move forward. If you're playing PC games, you can actually play PC games with your the headset, and just by concentrating on where you want like your character or like your mouse to go. Now, the cursor to go, because you wouldn't be using your mouse or a joystick or your keyboard. You wouldn't be using any of that. You strictly would be using your head. Now, this again, it seems like it's far off. If you go to the Emotive website, you could buy this today for $300. It's a commercial edition, extremely affordable. This is just the beginning of the future. It's literally controlling your environment with your mind. So I'll leave you with this. If you want to succeed in the 21st century, especially in this field of study, you need to learn as much as you can here at Vanier and maybe moving on to university. You're going to have to unlearn a lot of it, because a lot of what you learn today is going to be obsolete in the next few years anyways. But the trick is for you to adapt and see what's out there and what you can do and relearn the new ways to keep you up to date with technology. And that's all I have today.